Hi, I'm Elizabeth at the Radford Public Library, and the recommendation for you this week is for a new book titled Saint X. Sorry, I know it's hard to see, it's so shiny. It's written by Alexis Schaitkin, and this book came out recently. It is Alexis Schaitkin's debut novel. I can't wait to see what she does next because this was outstanding. It's about a family of four that tragically becomes a family of three. They go to a fictional Caribbean resort, and the oldest daughter of the family, whose name is Allison, she's 18, disappears. And spoiler alert, is found dead in just a couple of days. And her younger sister, Claire, is 7 at the time that her sister dies. This book does a really cool thing with geography. You know, you start out in the Caribbean island, you go to, years later, you end up in Brooklyn with the youngest daughter who is now in her mid-20s. So the book not only spans two different locations, it also spans about a 20-year time gap where the youngest daughter has grown up, has gotten a career, and is living in Brooklyn. But the real hook that I'm finally getting to after a minute and a half of telling you about this book is that Claire's taking a taxi when she realizes that the taxi driver is Clive, who is one of the resort employees who was accused of Allison's death. So there were actually 2 employees at Indigo Bay who were accused of Allison's death but were not actually convicted. And so as Claire's riding in this taxi, she recognizes Clive. She sees his name, I guess, on his certificate in his taxi. And she seizes the moment and begins to manufacture ways of seeing him and staying in contact with him, really basically stalking him for all intents and purposes because to her, Allison's death was never really resolved. And so there's so much going on in this book because with every interaction she has with Clive, you don't know as the reader if he's guilty or not. You don't know if he is aware of who she is, because she was only 7 when her sister died, and so there's no reason she would really stand out to Clive, this former resort employee. So there's a lot going on. When I was reading it, I kept thinking about the Natalie Holloway case and her disappearance and how she was never found. There's a lot that this main character, Claire, deals with in terms of family, and really how her world just was destroyed with the loss of her sister. It's a coming of age. It's a story about grief and obsession. And one of the really cool things I think this author does is interject so many other voices and perspectives. You read from not only Claire's point of view, but Allison's point of view, the sister who died. You read from Clive and Edwin's point of view, who were the 2 fellas that were employees on the resort. You read from, Allison's ex-boyfriend's point of view and other guests' point of view who were at the resort at the time of her disappearance, just all the ways these different people were impacted by her death. So it's fantastic. It's surprising that this is a debut because it's so solid. I highly recommend it if it sounds like something you would enjoy. It's pretty clean language. It's a troublesome, obviously, theme, but it's handled so deftly. I think that most readers out there would enjoy the pace and the perspective, and she also does such a great job of bringing the actual locations like this Caribbean island and Brooklyn to life. She really gives them their own voice. It's fantastic. I can't say enough about it. I hope you'll check it out. Thanks for listening, and we hope to see you soon at the Radford Public Library.